Always bring headwear, lest the sun burn you down.
Looks like I'm in luck. Didn't expect to see so heavily armed an adventurer wandering into our camp. Are you interested in a job? I've got a fey beast situation I need taken care of. Excellent. A pack of wild fey have holed up at the canyon hill site at the top of the ledge. I've already dispatched a scholar to investigate, but he hasn't returned. You'll find him near the road towards the mine. I'll have more information for you there, but it isn't useful for much else. The coward refuses to go near the Fae. Get to the site and figure out why those blasted things have come out of the mine, and then get rid of them. Speak to the scholar when the deed is done. He'll pay you. Oh, where are my manners? Foreman Vire at your service. This here is Motus Mining's latest outfit, and my care and charge. They were our biggest competition, and they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar Erin never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus. I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is. He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. But he's the one I've got, so that's that. A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail. If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security. I've received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth. Good day.
Ha! You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Craddock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it! Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt. You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it? Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumour has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business. We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorising the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise. Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a chief of security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Craddock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone. Aaron Excavations? They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
The Hollowlands are a harsh place to make a living, but we make do.
I watch them day by day, their foolish, meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. They know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom. Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season. You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a fey place. And fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest route of recovery. The century plants have deep ties to the pulse and marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow. A friend of the sands, you'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here's a skinful I have gathered. But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well. Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands. The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away? For now, then.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us. Capstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Croddock is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back. They call themselves a mining operation. They're more like a thieves' den. I was in the Hollowlands long before they ever set up shop. Once they got settled, they offered better wages to my workers. Every single one of them is working for Motus now. I couldn't compete with that kind of money. I had a small army of gnomes to help me with the mine. Spent a lot of money transporting them here and gave them a good living. And the miserable bastards had the gall to leave me for Motus.
Oh, I'm in a terrible bind. I don't dare go forward, and I certainly can't go back. Mind you, I wouldn't go up that eastern ledge. It's most unsafe. Yes. Well, no. I got 10 paces up the slope when I spotted those Fae. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts, it shook its fist at me. Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further. There were boggarts, lots of boggarts. And I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars. Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind at a safe distance. Scholar of Mineralogy, Motus Mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure. I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there, I just don't want them anywhere near me. Lead the way. Up the slope we go. There they are. Dispatch them before they attack. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh. I see something at the end of the trail.
Another, come to steal the light, come to trouble the reverie. They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, source of solace, snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side. Took it northward, through the narrow rocks, to their village of wood and cloth. I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep. When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free. Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear? He and I are two where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fey maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fey hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fey, they're drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated. No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae's asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form.
The light! Return to me! Did you do this? The blessings of the thorn and shadow be upon your head, little mortal. Now leave me to the reverie, and the deep shadow and the far wind sighs. Now I have the light, the reverie will be untroubled. Now leave me be, little one. Leave me be. Ah.
It's amazing.
A Fey relic? Was that it? She called it a light. I wonder what possessed those fools to steal it. No matter. Facts are, without you, I'd still be tugging my beard at the bottom of that slope. So please have this. The interest rewards those who smooth its way. All this caused by a stolen jewel. Remarkable. As I've always said, there's no understanding Fey. All the same, we ought to have known we were digging right above a Fey hollow. Didn't seem important at the time, I suppose. So long.
I've been hoping you'd come by. The miners report no sight or sound of Bloodbane since you ventured out into the desert. That means they can start work on the Dunehead site, and that you've earned your pay. Thank you for ridding us of that menace. If you hadn't happened along, who knows where we'd be? And whatever that thing calls a stomach, I suppose. You're welcome here any time, friend. Though there's not much to do but swing a pick at rocks. You look like you can take care of yourself, but you should be careful out there.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's my miners. They've gone deranged. Bless my beard. Just as both sites were coming back to full operation, the lunatics fled out into the desert. I tried to stop one of them and saw nothing but a blank stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. He looked cursed. This is the work of that Fey, the one who sits atop the hill on the outskirts of town. If you can find that Fey and make him fix this, they'll be duly compensated. Damn right! There's no other explanation. He calls himself Calovar. Polite enough fellow, I suppose, but I've never trusted him. When we first got this operation up and running, he'd appear out of the sands every once in a while and try to convince us to move out. It's so obvious now. I'll bet he was behind the other problems as well. The Crudock, the attack on Canyon Hill, all of it reeks of Fey magic. Gulliver watches the mine from his perch on the hill to the south. You'll find him there. Didn't you hear me? They've gone soft in the head. Most ran off into the desert, some stayed in the mines. I tried to stop one of them and got nothing but a vacant stare and a strange light behind the fellow's eyes. Then he took off. He looked cursed. I bet my beard that damn Fey had something to do with this.
Greetings, mortal. What are you here for, mortal? I'll not suffer another child of dust. I've had enough of your lot. Especially those of you calling yourselves Edgar Arryn. I lent him my relic when he asked for help extracting resources from the ground. I believed I was aiding a friend. But Edgar Arryn deviated from his purpose. The plight of Orenda and the attack of the Crudock on the mortal camp perplexed me. I know now that Edgar caused them with my relic. If you wish to free the mortals from their predicament, you must seek out Edgar Arryn and take back the relic. With it in hand, speak to the miners to break the spell. Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things. I have heard mortals refer to it as a stone or a jewel. Vast oversimplifications, as children of dust are wont to make. It is my light, as Orenda's lantern is hers. Edgar Arryn asked to borrow my relic to use in his mine, to draw the minerals the mortals find so valuable. I thought him worthy of friendship, and thus gave it to him. Alas, he has deviated from his purpose. The Crudock attacks, the theft of Orenda's lamp, and now this. All of this petty sabotage is his doing, made possible by my relic. Farewell.
You found me, stranger. Been speaking to Calavar, have you? You've been putting out fires for Motus all over the place, I hear. What can I do for you this time? You've spoken to the Fae, I presume. I thought I saw you scaling that cliff. He wasn't lying. I wanted Motus gone. But I never meant to take it this far. If he'd just packed up his damn operation, nobody would have been harmed. I did. With this little stone Calavar gave me, simply thinking a thing makes a wild Fae do it. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep old Bloodbane from falling for your brownie bait. Calavar told me all about it, and how detrimental it would be if it were taken. Then I just had to tell a couple of gullible cutthroats about this incredibly valuable Fae relic buried in Shadowthorn Hollow. How about I sick my Fae friends on you instead? Kill this pest, boys! Spare me. I was just trying to make a living here. Success should have been mine. I started my operation long before Motus ever arrived. My workers have abandoned me, and I haven't made a single coin from this place. This was all I could do to reclaim what once belonged to me. You understand, don't you? Fine. It's yours. Damn thing never did me any good anyway. I'm sure the Odessan Praetorians won't be far behind me now that the word's out. I won't be here when you return.
By the moon, where are these gazelles coming from? What was I saying?
Reginald, what do we do? The house is aflame! The house is aflame! What? Oh, where is this? By my beard, how did I get so far into the desert? Where do you think you're going with my pickaxe, you wretch? No. Where is this? I promise this is the last time I partake in Detrian ale.
I've never noticed how close the ground is to the sky. I mean, I do now. It's a mistake I'll never make again. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, dear me, I have to go.
I could swear there was a lake here a moment ago. What? What happened? What in blazes is this?
Well, it looks like everyone's back or on their way. We're in your debt once more. Edgar's facilities are vacant now. They're yours if you want them. They were never particularly profitable once his miners left him. But in the right hands, a few of the miners feel so indebted to you, they'd like to work there for you, if you'll have them. You should visit the mine when you have a chance. Good eve.
Greetings, mortal. I shall relieve you of the relic. For a mortal, you are remarkable. I can see something lingering in your eyes, something fey. It is both fascinating and perplexing. But, as you mortals say, the dust has settled. This region was on the verge of catastrophe, thanks to Edgar Aaron. It was fortunate you were here to stop him. Farewell. I can smell them on the dry winds. Your eyes may not see the natural decay, but I assure you, it is there. The little meddlers may do their worst. The Hollowlands will endure it and mend the wounds they make. Farewell.
Welcome. The Motus miners have told me all about you. I'm Vincent Helvarn, Edgar Aaron's former assistant and facilities manager. I'll continue to run the mining office for you, if you'll allow it. come and go as you please. The building is yours to use. And if it doesn't suit your tastes, with some spare coin, I can arrange for renovations. If you have enough gold, I can clean this place up and furnish it with goods from across the land. I'll get right to work. It'll look brand new before you know it. Hail, adventurer. Hail, friend. The gnomes at Modus Mining mentioned you'd be opening a mining site here. That's all well and good, but I can help you make the most of it. For a small sum, I'll renovate this mine for you, make it bigger. In the long run, you'll earn more money out of it. What do you say? If you give me the gold, I can start clearing out one of the collapsed passages in the mine. I'll start cleaning out the passage right away. Who knows what we'll uncover in there? Greetings.
What is it? You! You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your papal strengths, and you have so few. You may recall our mutual friend, Formerus Hughes, the gnome who brought you back to life. I suspect you would, but I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hughes has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task. Don't be obtuse. I am his patron. As such, I own everything that Scholar Hughes produces. I suppose that includes you as well. The secrets in his laboratories are meant for gnome eyes only. They must be controlled at any cost. It would seem the incident in Alistar made Scholar Hughes a touch paranoid. Every time we receive a clue about his location, he vanishes before I can reach him. But he's running out of places to hide. It's my opinion that there's one hope left of finding Hughes. You. And I'm grateful. Scholar Hughes is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hughes has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Edessa. His knowledge is invaluable, and must not fall into the wrong hands. And I'm terribly worried about your safety too, of course. That goes without saying. As Templar, the Forum demands that I do everything in my power to advance our knowledge. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one I take quite seriously. Formerus Hughes is one of my most brilliant scholars, and as you know, his research shows tremendous potential. His recovery is of paramount importance.
Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. First Tuatha, then assassins? The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you for more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. I trust him with my life, which is why I've been trying to contact him since I fled Alistar, but to no avail. Where is he now that I need him most? Wait. Of course. He is the one I trust most, and the one who would benefit most from my death. I am a fool! Octien is behind the assassins, and now that you and I are together, he will try to kill us both. Why did I not see this before? If he could repair the Well of Souls in Alistar, then he has no need of me. Not if he has Ventrinio. Ventrinio de Selene. We used to work together in this lab on projects sponsored by Templar Octien. But when we were tasked with creating the well, Ventrinio sought to use any means at our disposal, regardless of the implications or consequences. Eventually, he was taken away, and I was sent to work at Alistar. But it seems he continued his work here, long enough to create those monsters. They are the animated dead, early experiments in the field of immortality. They will forever haunt these cursed caverns. Ventrinio named them after a mythical figure who rose from the dead. He looked on them and saw potential. I see only abominations. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrino is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Never. The only voice he wishes to hear is his own. We cannot deal with Octien within the boundaries of Edessa. Not alone. There is one who has the power to discredit him. Templar Joriel. She is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. And as I recall, she and Octien do not exactly see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. And that includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your death, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Octien's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Octien. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desilini. For a time we worked together under Templar Octien. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. I told Octien he couldn't be trusted and refused to work with him, but it appears the Templars simply moved him to another lab with some mysterious assistant. Ah, Edessa, the great gnomish city-state. Knowledge, reason, and logic rule there, as do bureaucracy and intrigue. A clever gnome can go far in that city, and a wise gnome goes far away from it.